Welcome to our Wellness Talk recording. My peers and I will be presenting this workshop about healthy eating at home. We hope you enjoy this video.
So I'll start off by saying the statement of acknowledgement of the traditional land. I wish to acknowledge this land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit River. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land.
We are very excited to record this video today. Before we start, I will go over what we will be talking about in the presentation. We'll first go over how to succeed at eating healthy while at home, as well as managing stress eating. We will discuss the Eat Well plate and tips for healthier grocery shopping. We'll also talk about motivations for snacking and end the presentation by giving examples of healthy recipes. Your home environment is important when it comes to healthy eating. It is the place where many food activities occur, such as planning what to eat, deciding when to eat, and deciding how much to eat. Additionally, foods in our home influence what we eat. For example, having healthier options available makes it easier to prepare and eat healthy. Now, I'll point out a few tips that could help us eat healthy at home. First, plan what you're going to eat. Find healthy and tasty recipes that you will enjoy. You can use a Canada's food guide to help you. Second, shop smart, stay on a budget, cut down on impulse buys. Third, have healthy options available. You can pre-wash, chop, and store healthy foods to make them easier to use or eat when they're needed. If you couple this with an organized pantry or fridge, it'll make it easy to grab healthy snacks. And lastly, limit the number of highly processed foods. It will lead you to eat and use fewer of these foods, especially when snacking. Another factor that I think is important to talk about when we're discussing healthy eating is stress eating. So, first of all, what is stress eating? It is eating in a way to suppress or soothe negative emotions such as stress. I would like to note here that stress eating is very real. Especially during this pandemic, people are worrying about jobs, schools, and their health. This will all lead to stress. And being at home, it can be easy to develop undesirable eating habits. Stress eating, however, isn't all that bad. We shouldn't prevent ourselves from eating, as undereating is just as unhealthy as overeating. The key to managing stress eating is to make sure we're eating and snacking smart. I would like to now share some tips on stress eating. First of all, portion control. Try and control your portions by using a small plate or a bowl. Second, plan out your snack schedule. Planning out and prepping healthy snacks that are easy to grab when you feel the need to munch, such as pre-cut veggies for hummus or mix up some granola with nuts. And lastly, eat mindfully. So distracted eating in front of the TV leads to over snacking. So if you try and put down your devices and eat slowly in order to sense each bite, you'll have better control over stress eating. Now I'd like to pass it to Shannon to continue the presentation.
So, eating healthy may sound like a challenge at first, but by following a framework such as the Eat Well plate can make it easier. The Eat Well plate provides us with a guide to use proportions of food to make healthy meals or snacks. And this works by following three simple steps. So, number one, the vegetables and fruits should always make up the largest proportion of the food you eat. Number two, try to choose whole grain food options when available. And number three, choose protein foods that come from plants more often. So, not all the meals need to look exactly like the Eat Well plate to be considered healthy, as you can always have meals served in various ways, including in a bowl, on a plate, at a picnic, and more. So, the Eat Well plate can be used for practically everything we eat. Here are some examples for the meals. So, for example, for breakfast, you can have a bowl of oatmeal with berries and chopped fruit, or a vegetable omelet with a side of fruit and half a whole grain bagel. For snacks, you can have the fruit with the whole grain crackers or cut up vegetables with hummus. And for a lunch or dinner option, you can make a stir fry or have a soup. So now that we know that what the Eat Well plate is and what goes on it, we can see that our food decisions are often made when grocery shopping. Grocery shopping can provide you with the chance to choose your ingredients to help prepare your meals and snacks. These decisions influence your eating patterns. So, by stocking your kitchen with healthy ingredients, it would make it easier to prepare and eat healthy meals and snacks, and this can help to limit eating highly processed foods. So, the first step is to be prepared. Plan ahead and always shop with a grocery list as it'll help to save time and money. Also, make sure you don't go grocery shopping on an empty stomach because that's when you're more likely to buy foods you don't need. Next, fill your cart with healthy choices. Try to fill your cart with vegetables and fruits, whole grain foods, or protein. Your grocery shopping provides you with a chance to find new healthy foods. In addition, try to make your cart colorful. As a helpful tip, try to make your cart have vegetables and fruits. And possibly by choosing in season fruits and vegetables are often more tastier, fresher, and less expensive. Thirdly, assess your shopping habits. Try to keep track of where in the grocery store you're spending your time and the types of food you put in your cart. Certain aisles, freezers, and ready to eat food sections can be highly processed, meaning it might contain added sodium, sugars, or saturated fat. You can also try looking at the food labels as it'll allow you to compare to decide healthier options. In addition, see if you can notice any marketing tactics that can be used that could affect your purchases, such as free samples, promotional items, product placement, and colorful packaging. And also try to skip out on grabbing those last minute items from the checkout aisle as they can be expensive and are typically not healthy options. Lastly, if possible, try to use reusable shopping bags to help reduce the harm to the environment and try to choose products which have less packaging as it'll end up in our garbage. If you're buying food from the bulk section, it can help to reduce the amount of packaging used. So before I pass it on to Mayela, here is a reflection question you can try answering. Pause the video and think about some healthy food options you opt for when you go grocery shopping.
Now that we've discussed some tips to use when grocery shopping, let's also see what kinds of things motivate us to snack. Usually, when we eat, our body gives us cues of hunger, but there are times when we eat outside of those urges, which can lead to the consumption of more fat, sugar, and sodium rich foods. Our location is another factor that influences our decision to eat, the portion we eat, and what we choose to eat. In the workplace and in the home, snacking is associated with making more healthy choices, but elsewhere can lead to larger snack sizes. Especially now that much of our activities take place at home, it can be easy to eat out of boredom, so it's important to listen to our body and know when a snack is fulfilling a need. Eating distracted may contribute to reduced satiety and increased consumption at the next eating occasion. Research has found that boring distractions like watching a non engaging show increases snack intake even more. This suggests that multitasking while snacking teaches us to associate these activities with eating, meaning that we may eat more of that snack or consume more food at the next meal. Hedonic eating is the drive for pleasure in the foods that we eat. Our snacking can be motivated by the rewarding properties of food. So, the more that we like food, the more we are likely to consume it. One study found that individuals who were sensitive to reward ate more energy dense snacks and sugary beverages than people who were less sensitive to reward. This means that the taste of food can influence our preference. Here's our second reflection question. You can pause the video and think about some of your motivations for snacking. While we're all at home, there are many ways to make healthy food choices. This has many benefits. In the short term, you feel better and you have more consistent energy. You perform better in your day to day work. And in the long term, good nutrition leads to high functioning immune system that can protect your body against diseases like type 2 diabetes. Though there are mixed messages about nutrition, what remains constant is that a large portion of your plate should be plant based, while proteins and whole grains accompany them. While busy with life, many of us may occasionally skip a meal, but when that happens, we tend to binge eat at the next one as compensation. To prevent this, we can use a grazing technique of eating smaller, more frequent meals of healthy food throughout the day rather than 2 or 3 huge meals. Regular physical activity helps maintain a healthy immune system and healthy mental outlook, both of which are important, especially during a global pandemic. While we may prefer to work out in a gym, it is possible to get high intensity workouts without one, with activities like jogging, cycling, and hiking in the summer, or cross country skiing in the winter, We reap the increased health and psychological well being of exploring nature. Now I'll pass it on to Khadija to talk about why we should choose healthy snacks.
Yeah, so why even choose to eat healthy snacks in the first place when you can just have a meal instead? So, snacks are not something you should avoid. They can actually satisfy your hunger between meals and can keep you energized. They can also assist in supporting an overall good health and provide important nutrients and act as an important part of your daily eating habits. So, some easy ways to practice healthy snacking. With everything going on in the world and with your responsibilities as a student, you may feel like choosing snacks is another thing you do not have time for. But trust us, there are some easy ways to incorporate healthy snacking in your daily routine. The first is kind of obvious, and that is choosing healthy snack foods. And that does not mean in the slightest that you should never touch a bag of chips again, because that is unrealistic. But when you do decide to eat something super processed or very sugary, you should eat it in moderation. And second, try to eat your snacks mindfully. You may be listening and think, nope, I need to have my favorite show playing in the background to get the full experience of my snack or meal. But even if you decide to eat while watching a show, eating your snack in a small container as opposed to bringing the entire bag with you may curb the feeling of eating just to eat and help with mindful eating so that you're just not eating out of boredom, but actually eating because you're hungry. Third, do not skip your meals. You will end up overeating snack food that may not fill you up, and that is where the small container trick comes in handy again. Also, remember to think about your snacks ahead of time. Just like how we make grocery lists for our meal ingredients, we should aim to plan out our snacks so that there's a game plan in place and the distractions at the grocery store are fewer. And remember, taking your snacks on the go is an excellent way to avoid getting excessive junk food while you are out running errands. Even packing a small bag of nuts, cut up fruit, or whole grain crackers can help you make healthier choices in the moment. Some healthy snacks outside the home. I know for most of us, we are staying inside to curb the spread of COVID-19. However, some of us still may need to go to work or may need to still leave our house for important errands. So, here are some travel friendly options you can bring in your bag. Also, remember, feel free to take a picture of the slide for future use. It may inspire some future snacks. One great example of a grab and go snack is packing up some cut up vegetables such as carrots, cucumber, celery, or peppers in the fridge and bringing them along in the reusable container. You can even pack some hummus or dip to go along with it. And you may still not be entirely convinced that choosing healthy snacks is something that you may be able to do. So I propose a fun way to remember a way to eating healthy, and they go a little something like this. So first, munchies that crunch. Pretty self-explanatory stuff like apples and pears, carrots and celery sticks, bell pepper slices, something that we can all remember. Second, rethink your drink. Ditch your high sugar go to and try maybe plain or sparkling water. If you want to be fancy, you can even add some fresh herbs or fruit to spice things up, fat free milk or plain soy milk, unsweetened tea or coffee. And you can always buy that fancy new Starbucks drink, but again, in moderation. Third, snacks that satisfy, guaranteed to fill you right up. Again, you can take a picture of the slide. Examples being whole grain toast with peanut butter or almond butter, or cherry tomatoes with hummus, or low fat or fat free cheese. And fourth, snacks to curb your sweet tooth. Um, these options are not only healthy, but super yummy. So, one example that I really like are frozen grapes. And what you can do, it's really simple, is you can even rinse some grapes, put them in a small container, and put them in the refrigerator for a few hours. And voila, you have a yummy and quick snack. Remember, try to make healthier versions of packaged snacks at home so you can choose the ingredients yourself. And here is our final reflection question. Again, pause the video and think about some examples of healthy recipes you have tried before because you saw it on social media. And now I will pass it on to Sanan, who will be speaking on the use of healthy ingredients in our food.
Thank you. So now that we have gone over some healthy snacking practices, I wanted to discuss the benefits of using healthy ingredients when preparing snacks. We know that there are many benefits to preparing meals and snacks using healthy ingredients. The biggest benefit we can achieve is reducing our sodium, sugar, and saturated fat intake, which is associated with increased risk of chronic disease. You can do this by following these guidelines. First, try and do it yourself. Instead of buying sauces and soups at the store, attempt to make it yourself. Add flavor to your meals by using herbs and spices. This will also help you decrease the amount of salt you use. Finally, try and use healthier ingredients more often by buying fresh or freezing it for later. Canned fruits and vegetables are a great way of having a healthy option at hand. So we want to end the presentation off by sharing a great resource you can use to make healthy meals. The said resource is the Canada's Food Guide website, which has many recipes you can try at home. There are breakfast, snack, and lunch, dinner recipes available. You can click on the recipe you want and it'll show you the total time needed for cooking and the directions on how to make this meal. You can also print out PDF versions of the recipe if you want to post it up in your dorm or common area for other students to see. I will now pass it on to Shannon to end the presentation.
So here are the resources that we have included in this presentation. Feel free to check out the Health and Wellness Center as well for its resources. And again, thank you all for watching this video.